It's a cold day in, well, you know where. Maybe Urzikstan. Call of Duty actually fixed something.
An air duct. Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
And I really don't know how to take that.
Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
But of course, we have to give them kind of props wherever props are due.
Everybody calm down!
So let's hope that this is moving in the direction of the things we need, especially before the release of Verdansk and what I feel is Call of Duty's last chance to really recapture its original audience. So let's go ahead and look here at what they changed today, and then I'll go over why this is so important. So to begin with, they did a change to Meat Shield and disabled it because there's apparently a known exploit. I don't know it, so buy stations in Ranked has been basically fixed now, so you no longer have to question where the buys are going to be. This is pretty good, as this means that you know at least Ranked will be identical to those in unranked modes. Ranked should never be different from the regular mode. It should try to mirror it whenever possible. Adjustments. This is a massive one. Munitions and utility box now gives you max ammo to your primary and secondary weapon. Instead of what they tried to do, which was give you ammo for everything, they are now giving you ammo for maybe, I don't know, the weapons you're running. It's cool. So that way you don't need 15 munitions boxes just to get to max AR ammo. These are the important adjustments. This is the part where they actually did well, and that is weapon motion. They've reduced everything. Visual recoil on all weapons, especially full auto. Sway, especially on higher magnification. Gun kick for everything except for sniper rifles. Reduced idle sway except for sniper rifles. Reduced idle sway while firing except for sniper rifles. Reduced weapon motion bob transition everything as a result of walking or changing stances. And remove additional layers of hipfire deviation which cause crosshairs to bounce while firing. This is massive because this right here is the first step to allowing keyboard and mouse players to actually play this game effectively. Now I know this isn't going to be just about keyboard and mouse players, but I want you to know that as a player who can play both, there is a massive disadvantage on close quarter fights for keyboard and mouse. And most of the time, I'll say not specifically because of aim assist, although aim assist obviously is one of the big culprits. But aim assist is a big culprit because all of these right here absolutely ruin the visual line of sight for playing keyboard and mouse. Whereas on controller, you do have the assistive aim assist, which helps keep you a little bit more on track while all this words, expletives, and things happens on the screen. So they've worked to reduce all this from 30 to 75% on all of their weapons. The stability alone is going to bring this into a significantly better place for just a very readable playability. Because one of the things that happens right now in the game is you get into a gunfight, you die, and you go, huh? I was just landing all my shots. And then you learn that you're not landing all your shots because your gun's going like, mwah, and despite it being in the center of the screen, you're not landing them because your gun's doing the mwah thing. And that's terrible. So this right here not only evens the playing field a bit more for controller versus keyboard and mouse, but this makes gunfights readable. And the last time we had that was Warzone 1. Warzone 1 was the last time that we had a gunplay version of this game that wasn't all wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey bullcrap. This has gone a long way, and I've already gone to the firing range and played a little bit to see how it changed, and I'm going to tell you, right now it's pretty significant. So I'm thinking that we're going to about be in a place where gunplay maybe doesn't feel so off. Aiming out of sway now delays to 2.2 seconds for all weapons. Aiming out of sway on sniper rifles now removes idle sway rather than reducing by 50%. So that means if you do something that reduces aiming idle sway, you're gonna get rid of it on most of your sniper rifles, and Stargate Laser now improves idle sway to 2.9 on all weapons. This is massive. All of this stuff means that whenever you start aiming in, your guy is going to aim where you put your crosshair. Before, there's a bunch of different things that could mess that up, but if your aiming idle sway was off even a little bit, you would go to aim in, and your character would be like, squirrel. And so they've now got rid of all that. So the combination between you now aiming where you aim, and now you're able to see where you're shooting while moving, this is the change we've been needing for like, I don't know, the last almost 3 years. Like it's insane that it's taken so long for them to get to a point where they're like, oh, maybe we should do the things we did that when everybody loved it. But again, I'm going to give them a little bit of credit here because they finally have, after a long enough time, just swallowed the problems and gone to try to fix them. It's a lot better than continuing to just throw stuff at the wall that we never asked for. They went through and they did some weapon balancing. Most of it is for the CHF barrel, increasing or decreasing penalties, 50 to 45, 20, and this one increased from 20 to 25. That's primarily because the Goblin is absolutely insane. As soon as people are starting to use it well, it'll be problematic. 50 to 55, 20 to 25. The Krig actually got some hits on some weird things. Sprint to fire and tactical by 0.01 second. Obviously, that's probably going to add up over the multiplayer side, but on Warzone, not so much. But the view kick, strength, direction, and deviation slightly increased, and view kick now progresses through pattern and a shorter number of bullets. This means the Krig actually got nerfed, which is funny because no one uses it because the XM4 is absolutely broken. And so I wish there was some, ideas of what's going on with that, but instead they're just going to continue to adjust the CHF rail. Actually, the Maelstrom got nerfed too, which is insane because it's mostly just a Dragon's Breath ammunition, but it's insane because does anybody use this thing? I don't know. And it also just came out and they're already nerfing it, so bravo to them for actually going through and adjusting stuff. Fixed an issue with the leaderboard not loading. Y'all toasted me in the last video where I said this. It's not Grenadier, it's Grenadier. I know, but I read words and then do English thing and then it all gets messed up. So fix an issue preventing Grenadier perk from slowing enemies hit by explosive damage, and then fix an issue causing players to get stuck in a loading player stat. So it's a relatively short patch list, but absolutely massive on the things that it did. So let's look at how that really works. So one of the things to note is this means that even on controller and keyboard and mouse now, you will be able to actually use irons, because the ASVAL is one of the ones that was like the waviest. Like you'll see the recoil kick around, but the gun itself doesn't shoot around a bunch. The iron sights is now usable on the ASVAL. Holy crap. Also, another one that I want to show you that actually had this is a massive buff to is the Compact 92. The Compact was another one that the irons were unusable because the gun rattled so much. You were basically required to either hip fire or just get lucky on some of the rattles. But now, the thing actually has workable irons, and that goes for almost every other gun in the game. The AK, one of the biggest problems I had with it was that the irons were so hard to use, and so you basically had to run a sight on it because the gun would just wobble everywhere. Again, usable irons now. I cannot begin to express to you how big of a change this is for anybody. Anybody being able to use irons on a weapon now reduces the number of attachments, meaning if you're going to run gunfighter, you can actually run everything but an optic now, which is massive. And with the ability to actually be a little bit more effective while doing so, it means that people will actually maybe, I don't know, crazy idea, have a little bit more fun on the game because they'll actually understand where their bullets are going, how the gunfights are happening, and what they can do to actually improve. It'll be less now of the why did I miss and more of the okay, I shot this guy. It's pretty impressive. And if you didn't know, you can press down on the D-pad twice, or when you're on keyboard and mouse, I think I'd have to check, but there's also a key. It'll tell you in the bottom corner of your screen to pull out these things. Like you can actually see the thing actually works now. Pretty good. But yeah, so this is super awesome for anybody that's been struggling with the gunplay inside of this game. A lot of it comes from that visual spray issue, and because of the change, we no longer really have that much of an issue, at least on visual. There's still going to be some recoil in the game because it is Call of Duty, and there's always a little bit, but even the GPMG that was notorious for being a bit weird because of its rattle and its high rate of fire, this thing is actually functional now. You can actually shoot at people with it. And it actually worked. Pretty crazy. So I'm gonna be honest, Call of Duty, I'm impressed. You did a good job. You fixed something without breaking everything in the process. Keep that going. This is what we want. You're doing the things we were wanting. And if you keep it up, maybe we'll be in good shape by the time that you drop Verdansk here in 90-ish days. We're only a few months away from the anniversary of Verdansk's original launch on March 10th. So Call of Duty, keep it up. I'm happy for you. You did something. That was really good. Good job. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and actually have a little bit of fun, maybe. There's still going to be some BS where you're dealing with servers, and there's still going to be some BS where you're dealing with cheaters, and of course, still understand that, if you're shooting somebody and there's blood splatter but no hit markers, that was obviously your fault and not the game because their servers are flawless. But other than that, they're improving. And of course, I can only be mad about the things that aren't working. So thank you all so much for fixing that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I appreciate you very much. Hopefully, this is good information for you. Maybe you'll give Call of Duty another shot today, tomorrow, whenever you decide you might actually want to play a shooter again. And hopefully you enjoy it. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, peace.